Why is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu empowering Sultan of Sokoto to be the head of all traditional ruler? And the question is Sultan of Sokoto really a traditional ruler?
I think thank you for joining us. You've watched this video and quite controversial at may lose, but has a lot of unanswered question. Today the problem is is Sultan of Sokoto a traditional ruler? Then if he is a traditional ruler, then there's no need of him also supervising or becoming the supreme leader of all the Muslims in Nigeria, including those ones in Yoruba land. Why a Fulani man who is not an indigenous Hausa man, who is supposed to be the Sultan for Fulani people, just like how it is being done. But you can see very clearly what is the secret behind all these powers and structures that is being centered around the Sultan of Sokoto, including natural resources found everywhere in Nigeria. For instance, in Biafran land today, it is controlling over 22 oil wells. Every politician, senator, governors, presidency fears confrontation with the Sultan of Sokoto. And people are saying that with what is happening around the world, Nigeria now, what is the mission, or it has been discovered that this thing is quite suspicious, that throne is quite suspicious. That throne seems to be, a well-structured, crafted throne to champion political conquest and Islamization in Nigeria, where every Arab nation and all the Muslim countries around the world uses him to carry out jihad. United States of America has called for the abolition of Sokoto Caliphate, Sharia, but the Nigerian government didn't take that. Then you see it very clearly that it has become something that every region, tribe in this country are beginning to look at. Why would you be seeing this man that by every standard is not a traditional ruler? By every standard, he is not supposed to be the supreme leader of all the Muslims in Nigeria. That throne supposed to have Sultan of Sokoto of Fulani Caliphate, Sultan of Sokoto of Fulani, Sultan of Sokoto of Fulani, but Fulani was removed. That very place they call Sokoto today was called Gobi. It was after they killed the last Hausa king in that land that they changed that name from Gobi to Sokoto. Today, the fear of Muslim tickets, the killings that are going on, all pointing to that caliphate. Nigerians should wake up and ask themselves the question: Was Ojukwu correct? Was President the kind of correct? Is there any plan? As at the time, Nigeria was officially registered as becomes a member of OIC. Up to today, he has not been debated in the National Assembly, in the Senate. He has not been debated in the Federal House of Representatives, while Nigeria is officially registered as an Islamic nation. And by the reason of whatever that built up that, whether it is from the British government or just a clear-cut plot, because I'm even hearing that Islam has been in Yoruba land before even the coming of the Uthman Dafodio in 1804. Then how come? To the extent that the federal government of Nigeria are sponsoring a bill in the Senate that will allow the Sultan of Sokoto to become the supreme leader of all the traditional institutions, including Amobini, while making Onu second in command. And the bill was supposed to be moved to the Senate. And when it is being signed, then it calls for official implementation. That everybody, including governors, presidency, goes to the Sultan of Sokoto to pay homage. And before you become any politician, any political position in Nigeria, you must go there. It is not correct. It is the basis of building terrorism, Islamization agenda in Nigeria. Then the problem is that why would Bola Tinubu want to pass a bill that will make the Sultan of Sokoto the supreme leader of all the traditional leaders and institutions in Nigeria, including the bill of furniture? I don't want to talk about the Oba and the other prominent Oba because just like there was nothing like Fulani Empire. We know the empires we have. The Fulani was not even a kingdom. So we must understand that these are one of the reasons today that Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Sultan of Sokoto sentenced Mazen Nnamdi. And in time, and the process of trying to, slow work, they move him to Sokoto prison. And you can see the revelation. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Muslim. And there's nothing like literal Muslim. A Muslim is a Muslim.
Is this the reason why some Nigerians are having issues with the Muslim ticket?
The fear of Muslim ticket comes as a result of Nigeria moving from the status of becoming a secular nation to becoming a nation driven by one religion, or supposed to be driven by one religion alone, which is Islam. And that is why we are saying, how come that these people that are less than 15 million control the constitution of Nigeria? To the extent that there's no place Christianity is being mentioned. Every law that opposed this country as a nation is based on Sharia. And all the governors, all the senators, all the House of members, from different ethnic nationalities in Nigeria are silent. Have you seen the reason why the world is silent? And I keep on asking the question, with this reality, Britain is running away from being captured by extremism laws that is tied to Sharia in Britain. America is battling New York today. So many countries are supported in the EU Parliament and the EU summit, where they came out and advocating that NATO should have a Christian military. Now we create Christians all over the world. We will just be able to solve this issue. You can see even with American intervention and whatever we are seeing in Nigeria, the killing has not stopped. And if you look at the history, that people are going to bow down to accept this religion because there is hunger. These are root causes of Islamization. Hunger is one of them. A clear cut that you dare not dare the Sokoto Caliphate, even the presidency. But the presidency can dare about me. The presidency can dare Opium furniture, and nothing happens. The kind of earning wealth that the Sokoto have do laughing of real habits. The other didn't have it. I don't know Nigerians. Is he a traditional ruler?
But don't you think this regionalizational proposal was kind of a way to solve this issue?
Will it stop infiltration? That's the question. Will regionalism stop infiltration? Regionalism under one Nigeria has already been hampered by the structures of the constitution that is going to factor the elements of Islam in it. That one day you woke up in the morning and you notice that the governor that came in as a Christian, or the regional leader that came in as a Christian, has defected, has declared that he is now an Muslim, has declared for Muslim faith. What will he do? So if the world is running away from, if Israel is running away from living with Hamas, Britain is running away from, influence of Islam in Britain, then why would the world keep silent and want Biafra to remain in a society where challenges of Islamization have become very clear? And if we refuse to do that, the consequences of it is death. I think it is time for people to start asking questions of what the Sultan of Sokoto Caliphate stood for. What does it stand for? It's not the only Muslim cleric in Nigeria. There are other Muslim clerics everywhere. Why we now start talking about a bill that empowers him to control all the international institutions in Nigeria? And it is happening under Muslim ticket. It's happening under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and they are just playing it gradually, secretly, so that Nigerians will not know. There was a one man that challenged this agenda and told the whole world, why would Bola Ahmed Tinubu be, who everybody sees as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's counterparts? Why would you want an Obi to come and deal with the Oni of Ife as a supreme traditional ruler? Bola Ahmed Tinubu has never been able to answer that question. So there is something between the Sultan of Sokoto agenda and the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's mission. And that is why they went, maybe possibly, if not for Donald Trump in America, by now, it will be very tough on the Christian communities in the southern Nigeria. But the fear of reaction coming from Donald Trump, but still, they are champions. Look at the way they manipulated the state police. They tell us everything. And when you look at it deeply, you still see hands of the Fulani to control the security structure in Nigeria. When you talk about the journalism, you still see the hand of the Fulani in the formation and the process and the rules and regulations that will guide it. So people should understand and begin to ask questions. What does Sokoto Caliphate represent? Why would we have Simon Ekpa and Mazin Nnamdi Kanu under mystery law all over the world, sponsored by the same people, and the world is keeping quiet, and Nigerians are keeping quiet and are not asking the real question why they want to carry out that bill of making Sultan of Sokoto the leader of all the traditional institutions in Nigeria. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is the reason why Bola Ahmed Tinubu agenda will not work. Thank you.